Good day everyone. Today I'll show you the steps on how to disassemble and assemble a system unit. First thing to do is unplug every cables that plug into your computer. That includes power, USB, firewire, mouse, keyboard, internet, cable TV, and others. The next is remove the CMOS battery from the motherboard. Remove the PCI Express connector from the power supply and the graphics card. The next is remove the graphics card. Remove the graphics card from the PCI Express expansion slot. The next is remove the CPU cooler. Remove the motherboard and CPU power connector. Remove the SATA connectors and also the SATA power connector. Remove the USB from the motherboard. Remove the system unit fans, which is the system fan and the CPU fan. Remove the SSD from the case. The next is remove the RAM. Be careful to remove the RAM from the motherboard. Then, remove the CPU chip. By removing the latch holding the processor and lift the retaining piece out of the way. Lift the processor chip straight out of the socket. Hold it by its edges. Remember, place the CPU in a safe location. The next is remove the front panel connectors. Remove the motherboard and the I/O shield. And the last is remove the power supply. Steps on how to assemble a system unit. The first is put the power supply. It supplies power to every component in the computer, and make sure you put the screw tightly. Next is put the I/O shield and the motherboard in the system unit. Then connect the front panel's connectors carefully. Put the CPU chip to the motherboard. And careful to put the CPU chip. Put back the remaining piece and lock. The next is put our RAM. To put the RAM, just press the plastic tube away, then put the RAM carefully. And next is place the SSD. Make sure you put the screw tightly. The next is connect the two system unit pan. Make sure you connect the connector of the pan in the motherboard. Make sure you put the screw tightly. The next is connect the USB connector to the motherboard. And connect the SATA power connector to the power supply and SSD. And also connect the SATA connector to the SSD and the motherboard. Connect the CPU power connector to the motherboard and the power supply. And connect the power connector to the motherboard. And now, let's put our CPU cooler fan and connect it to the motherboard. And next is the graphic card and connect it to the PCI Express expansion slot. Connect the PCI Express power connector to the power supply and the graphics card. And put the CMOS battery and connect all the external devices. And the last is connect the power plug to the socket and turn the system unit.